Hi there folks, welcome to another scintillating episode of Dunzy's Guitar Stuff. Another guitar lesson today for Krokus. Now, I hear you all saying, but that just sounds like AC/DC, Dunzy. And it does sound like AC/DC. It was produced by Tony Platt, who had engineered a couple of AC/DC albums. It could be argued there are some AC/DC type riffs on it, Playing the Outlaw for example. But when all's said and done, I really like this album. This came out in 1982. A lot more straightforward than the previous Krokus albums, not quite as complex riffs, more sort of straightforward, bang on the beat. Great album, absolutely fantastic album. So hold the AC/DC comments. I'm doing this lesson on a 1972 Gibson SG Deluxe. As you can see, front loaded control plates, nothing on the back. Nice bit of wood, as they say. Now this whole song is basically around a pedal tone on an A. So it's a pedal tone on the open A string, and then you catch the octave A chord at the 7th fret of the D string and the 9th fret of the G string. And you keep pedaling on the A string, and then you move the chord down to a G, which is the 5th fret of the D, 7th fret of the G string, and then you move your finger down on the D string down 1 fret to the 4th fret of the D string. So the chords are A, G, and whatever that one is, it's the 4th fret of the D string and the 7th fret of the G string, and with a pedal tone on the A. So I'll just play the chords. And with the pedal tone. Now the verse is very similar. It plays an A chord for the first part of the verse. And one of the other guitars seems to be playing the octave A up here on the 7th fret of the D string and the A string open. So that's the first measure, and that's where there's vocals, and at the end of each measure they go back to the... So the verse goes like this. And then it goes into a bridge which goes to E. Now what that's playing is the open bottom D string onto the 7th fret of the A string, open E again, and then onto the 5th fret of the A string, to the 4th fret of the A string, to the 2nd fret of the A string. Again, it's a pedal tone, this time on an E. And it finishes that measure. He hammers on to the 3rd fret of the bottom E string, hammer on to the 4th fret, back to the open string. So that whole bridge. to the chorus. Now the chorus is pretty simple. Again, it starts on an A chord, and each time he's playing the A chord, he's catching the 3rd fret of the G string to catch that high A. And then to a C, to a D, back to the A. So it's just power chords there. So it plays that 3 times, and on the last one it starts on the A, again to the C, but this time it goes to a G power chord and then a D power chord, and they stay for 4 bars on the D. So I'll play the whole chorus here. And back into the verse. Now the only other variation that they do, Fernando von Arb in the chorus will play a, so that's open A to the 3rd fret and then the 2nd fret, and you play an open A in between each of them, and then a G to the A chord again. So I'll play what he plays in the chorus. And that's the only other variation. So there you have it, Krokus, Bad Boys, Rag Dolls. I'm not entirely sure what that means, but it does mean it's a great tune. Mostly an A, a lot of string dampening on that. Very straightforward on the beat, but a fantastic tune, and I would check the album out as well if you don't already have it, which I'm sure you do. Most discerning rock fans will own one Vice at a time. Thank you once again for tuning in, folks. I'll get some more lessons up soon. Cheers for now.